If you're anything like me, then you're probably someone who consumes too much media that you have to journal about it. Or maybe you're just someone who loves to memory keep and print out all of your photos. If you've been wondering which photo printer is the best for your journaling needs, then this is the video for you. I've been using the Fujifilm Instax SP3 photo printer for a few years now, and for the most part, I've been really happy with the quality of the photos. I do have the Instax Square SQ6 camera, but I find it inconvenient to bring along when I'm traveling. Since it's an instant camera, I had to be mindful of the lighting, the angle. So over here you can see how the pictures are really overexposed. But then again, I'm also not the best photographer in the world, so it's not like I can take good photos in the first place. With the Instax photo printer, I can still have photos with the polaroid look without worrying if my photos will look good or not, because I can check them on my phone first before I print them out. Mine is the older model, which still works fine after so many years. The main downside is that the film is pretty expensive. I think it's around $1 plus per print, which is okay for photos of major memories, but feels like a waste for random stuff like this. For my media journal though, I thought of using the next best thing, which is my regular printer, which I am already using to print out my stickers for my bullet journal. So what I did is that I saved all of the posters on this single document and print this out on photo paper using the photo settings on my printer. Overall, I am happy with the quality of the prints. The main issue is that printing on photo paper uses a lot of ink compared to printing on regular paper, so I had to change the ink in my printer a couple of times just to print out this entire document. So overall, it was very expensive because in the first place, my ink cartridges are not cheap, so this was not a viable option for me in the long run. So therefore, I was on the hunt for a new photo printer. I also did not want to consider getting any photo printers that use the zinc technology, especially the HP sprocket. As you can see, the quality of the photo is just so terrible. There is a weird smell. I 100% do not recommend it. Which brings us to today's unboxing. And no, this is not a One Piece card game unboxing, despite what the box says. This is actually my new photo printer, which is the canonselphy cp1500. Initially, I considered getting the Kodak Mini Shot 2 Retro or the era because it looked really nice and it uses the 4-pass technology, which means that the photo quality is already a lot better than the zinc technology. But after reading some reviews, it seems that Canon is the better choice in the long run. I also took a look at my older bullet journal, which had photos printed using an older canonselphy model, and I still like how the photos look. The photos are still so vibrant after so many years. So I'm assured that the prints will not fade over time. The older model died on me recently, and it had a lot of connectivity issues prior to that, so that's why I was a bit hesitant on getting the canonselphy again. But since the cp1500 is a newer model, it probably won't have any connectivity issues, but we will test it out. One thing that was really striking to me as I opened the box was that there was no paper or ink cartridges included, so you have to get those separately. So this is how it looks. I picked the white one because the paper tray is also white, but if I had it my way, I would have gotten the pink one instead. So let's compare it to my older model, which is the cp1200. You can see that they are roughly the same size. I think they look very similar, except that the buttons on the cp1500s are less clunky and the screen is much bigger. The screen is not touchscreen, by the way, so you do have to use the buttons. The paper trays are also very similar. They are of the same size, so I imagine that they are interchangeable, though I have not tested that out yet. Since the older model died on me, I have a lot of photo paper left over, but I also went ahead and bought a new set of paper and cartridges just in case. This one in particular has 108 sheets of paper and 3 ink cartridges. There is also another model for the ink, but I don't really know what's the difference, so if you know, please let me know. So yay, more paper for me, which probably can last me forever. I do find that the ink goes faster than the paper though, so you might have to source elsewhere for just the ink if you run out of ink but still have a lot of paper left over. But for now, let's load the cartridge in and turn on the printer. I had difficulty turning it on for the first time because apparently you need to press on the button a bit longer, but it's working now. We're all good. When you turn it on for the first time, there will be a few screens to guide you through the setup process. You can connect your printer via a few methods, but I'll show the easiest way, which is through the app. So first you have to download the canonselphy app on your phone. You can do this by scanning the QR code shown on the screen on your printer, or go to the app store to find the app. Once you're done, you can open the app, click on the top left button with the printer logo, Select the correct printer model that you have, scan the QR code shown on the screen of your printer. If you ever get lost, you can refer to the online manual which has the step-by-step process. So how the printer connects to your phone is through Wi-Fi. So your phone will be disconnected from your regular Wi-Fi for a while as it connects to the Wi-Fi on your printer. If there are any firmware updates, you can download it through the app as well. Now that everything is connected, let's do a test print. These are the settings that I will use. I will actually turn off the image optimization. You will have to choose the album that your photo is in before you select the photo. You can edit your photo before you print it out if you want to. After you press print, this pop-up will appear to connect your phone to the printer, and there will be a send status if it is successfully connected. And here's the final result. I think it looks quite good to me. The quality is quite decent for my media journal purposes. There are perforations at the top and the bottom, so you can remove them if you like or leave it on if that's your preference. But for now, I'll explain how I get the photos in the first place. Since I watch mainly K-dramas and J-dramas, I will first find the native title of the show that I'm printing out. I will usually use my drama list since it's easier to find through my own list. I will then Google the poster for the title and try to find the best quality as possible. For some shows, they may have several promotional posters, so I will print out at least 2 of them. So then I will copy the image and go onto Canva. I've already made a template that measures 2 inch by 3 inch, so I'm just adding a frame from the elements section and resize it to fit. Then I'll paste the image and drag it into the frame so that it will be resized automatically. You can then download your image individually on the entire file, whatever works best for you. There will be some posters that do not fit the 2x3 dimensions exactly, like this one. So I will remove the frame and just resize it with the white background and download the picture as it is with the white background visible. I prefer to use the desktop version of Canva and then airdrop the photos to my phone. But if you want to do it all through your phone, then open the Canva app and select your document. Click on the rightmost button at the top and then click download and choose the file that you want to download. Again, you have the option of downloading the single photo or the entire file. You will then save the photo on your phone. Okay, now let's go back to our selfie app. Since my photos are in the 2x3 size, I am using the end up layout and choosing the 4 up option. You can now choose up to 4 photos that you want to print on a single piece of photo paper since each photo paper is 4x6 inches. Over on this screen, you can edit each photo individually if you like before printing them out. And now let's print. And just like that, we have our photos ready in less than a minute. I think overall the print looks decent, although it could be slightly better, though it's fine for my media journal. This also means that I can finally set up my media journal for 2024. That video will be up soon, so please stay tuned.